Hello, Walter. Walter, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, well,
Okay.
hello.
Good. Hi, Harold.
Can you
Hi.
hear me? Hello. Ernie, just to let you know, I ate in a fantastic restaurant in Miami tonight. So
Where?
Austria. It's in, I don't know, it's in not in a great neighborhood, but they opened up this French restaurant. The food was just amazing.
Wow.
Just amazing.
Great.
It's called Austria. Off the beaten track, but it was really good. Okay.
We're on pay base 82. So there's a mitzvah of Bikurim that you have to take the first fruits up to the Beis HaMikdash. But there are stipulations when you have to do that. So if your tree is overhanging your neighbor's field, or let's say your tree is overhanging a border fence, and then it's overhanging, let's say, the Rosh Hashanah, or your neighbor. Maybe v'korei, you're still allowed to bring the Bikurim and read the special parsha. It's still considered your land because, and this is one of the takana sham, that's Kenhin Yehoshua Yisrael Saaretz. So there's another takana of Ezra that we didn't, of Yoshua that we didn't mention. Elaman tana asar tnoim sheis Yoshua. So this issue of whether or not Yehoshua was masakin 10 or more, it's machlokes tanoim. The Tana that listed that there were 10 is Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi, who Rav Gvia mi beit kosel masal b'hadei. In fact, Rav Gvia had a Masorah that the Baraisa came directly, Rav Tancha, Rav Brayis, Omer Mishum Zakin Echad, that there were 10 Oman Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi. Asar Tnoim is Yehoshua. Now, once we're in the business now of talking about various takonos that were established by certain Beis Dinim, it says Asar takonos tikin Ezra. Ezra Sofer, after coming back with the Ole Bavel and rebuilding the Bayis Sheni, so that he made 10 takonos as well. What were they? Korin v'mincha b'Shabbos. Number one, that we made at Kriyas HaTorah, mincha Shabbos. Korin b'Sheni v'Chamishi, and we read the Torah Monday and Thursday. V'donin b'Sheni v'Chamishi. Beis Din was in operation Mondays and Thursdays. Umechabsin b'Chamishi b'Shabbos. We washed laundry Thursday for Shabbos. V'oichlin shum be'erev Shabbos. We ate garlic erev Shabbos. The Gemara will tell us why. V'shtei isha mashkemes v'oifa. A woman, when she needs to bake bread, she has to wake up early to do it. V'shtei isha chogeres b'sinner. Women wore undergarments. That's what the Gemara is going to explain what this is. V'shtei isha choifefes v'tovelas. A woman, before she goes to the mikveh, has to do chafifa of her hair so that there would be no tevila. There's no chatzitza prior to tefillah. V'shiroch lemachzirim bayaros. They made a takana, the peddlers who sell tchotchkes, like trinkets, jewelry, perfume, to make women more attractive to their husbands. They made a takana that the peddlers should travel everywhere. V'tikin tefillah balekriyan. That prior to learning Torah, a Balkari has to go to the mikveh. This halacha doesn't apply anymore. Prior to mikveh and tefillah, so the people go to the mikveh every day. The Chabadniks, people are machmir, based on this halacha. Now the Gemara is going to analyze these 10 takonos. Sheikorim b'mincha b'Shabbos, mishum yoshvei kronos. There were people who didn't go to work but they also didn't learn. So there shouldn't be a bittul gamri. So they should hear divrei Torah at least erev Shabbos by mincha. B'shikor b'sheni v'chamishi. And we say one of the takanas was that they should read Kriyas Torah Monday and Thursdays. Asks the Gemara, Ezra came? Did Ezra do this? This is already back from Moshe Rabbeinu, from earlier generations that they made a takana to read Monday and Thursdays. The Tanya, Vayelchu Shloshes Yamim Bamidbar, V'lo Motzu Moyim. They went 3 days in the desert and they didn't find water. Dorshe Rishumos Amru, the darshaners would say, Ein Mayim El Torah. Mayim is Torah. Shneimar Hoy Kol Tzamei L'chu Mayim. He who is thirsty should go to water. Kivan Shalchol Shlosh Yamim B'lo Torah Nilu. They went 3 days without Torah. They became weak. Amdu Neviim Shebenehem. The Neviim in that generation stood up. The Tikton Lam Shikor B'Shabbos, Mafsikit Bechel B'Shabbos. They made it takana to read Shabbos. They would have a break on Sunday. Korin B'Sheni. They would read again Monday. Mafsik and Shlish Revi. They would not read Tuesday and Wednesday. But Korin B'Chamishi. They would read Thursday. Mafsik and Erev Shabbos. Kadesh Lo Yamim Shlosh Yamim B'lo Torah. So they shouldn't go 3 days without Torah. So how do we say that Yoshua made this takana? Mikara tiknu chad gavret lo psuki. The original takana, one person would get an aliyah and he would read 3 psukim. Or inami plus a gavri plus a psuki. Or you would call 3 people up, but totally they would only read 3 psukim, 1 pasuk for each person. Why do you need 3 psukim? Keneged kohanim levim. Yes.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry to observe. But we learn we learn in Shabbos morning. So what does Shabbos afternoon help us? You have 3 days without Shabbos afternoon. So what does Tikkun in Shabbos afternoon have to do?
That was Mishum Yoshvei Kro. That was a different reason. The Gemara, we said above, Mishum Yoshvei Kronos. These are people who waste their time.
But Yoshvei Kronos also learned, obviously they learned Shabbos morning too. It's just a shaila. It doesn't make, I hear the rest. Monday.
Yeah, it makes sense, Walter. You're right. Yeah, it doesn't gain you any days either way. Right.
What day did it gain you? What did it gain you? I hear what Yoshvei Kronos. Yoshvei Kronos is Monday and Thursday.
True.
I understand.
And so hang on. Others hold that they were not Bnei Torah at all. And after Shabbos, when they ate and drank, they would sit in the streets. That's called the kronos, and we get drunk, and they would be oisik b'dvorim b'teilim. So that's why they made mincha to come back. And that's a better svara. That would answer your question. According to Rashi, it's harder to explain.
It's kasha, but it's I don't know.
No. According to the other perushim, they were batlonim, so they would come to Shul Shabbos morning, but they wouldn't come back, and they wouldn't do anything the rest of Shabbos. So they made a takana come back Mincha Shabbos.
But the whole reason was that you shouldn't go 3 days. We said at the beginning of the
No. This was in response to the answer. What do you mean Yoshua was Misakin this? This had been Misakin earlier. And we read the Baraisa that said that they were Misakin Shabbos morning. So came later. And you notice in that Baraisa it doesn't say anything about Mincha Shabbos.
Okay, but was that from Ezra or that was from Yeshua?
No, that was from the time of Moshe Rabbeinu, after Yam Suf. The parsha we're going to learn tomorrow. In Moro. That's in Parshas B'Shalach. And it's in that generation that they established the Takana. So the Gemara asked, what Yoshua did not be Misakin the Sheni v'Chamishi. So that's what we're answering now. The original Takana by Moshe Rabbeinu and the Nevi'im then was 1 person would be called up to the Torah to read 3 psukim, or 3 people were called up to read 3 psukim. Why 3? Keneged Kohanim Levim Yisrael. Came Ezra, Tikein Tlosa Gavri Asar Psuki. Ezra's Takana Monday and Thursday was that they would read 10 psukim with 3 aliyahs. Keneged Asara Batlonim. Because the Asara Batlonim is a good thing. These are the Koilel Yungalite. They're in base medrash all day learning Torah. They don't do any work. And they are the spiritual kiyum of the whole city. Say, that's what Rashi says. Without them, we wouldn't have anything. The whole Misparnasim Mishal Tzibur, they get paid by the Tzibur because the community needs them. They're spiritual. Then, Donin B'Shem Chamishi, Ezra was sakin that the Beis Din was in session Monday and Thursday. Why? The Shrichim. The also the Mikra B'Sifra. People were in the city because they came to listen to this Kriyas Torah. So that was the time when the Beis Din was in session. Why did they have to do laundry Friday? Mishum Koved Shabbos. They wanted to make sure that there were clean clothes because that's part of Koved Shabbos. Why did they eat garlic? Mishum Oina. Because there was a mitzvah to have relations with your wife Friday night. And it sounds like shum is some kind of aphrodisiac. Tichsiv. It was the original Viagra. Tichsiv. Ashrei Isha Shapir Yitin Be'ito. That having pruvu at the right time, which the Gemara is going to say is Friday night, so that's what the shum is for. Obviously, maybe it wasn't necessarily an effort. It helped the zera. Some say it killed the worms in your intestines. Amra Vila Vitema, Rav Nachman Vitema, Rav Kana Vitema, Rav Yochanan. This pasuk, Asher Piri Yitin Be'ito, Zeh Meshamish Vitosu Me'erev Shabbos Le'erev Shabbos. They would have relations once a week, every Friday. And that's why Ezra was masakin to eat garlic. Ton Rabbanan, Chamisha Dvorim Nemru B'Shum. Garlic has 5 qualities. Mazbia, makes you filled up. Mashkin Matzil warms them up. Marbe Azera, increases the zera. Hoirekinim, it kills lice. Shebnei Me'ayim, the various worms in the intestines. Yesh Omrim Af Machnis Ava Motzis Akina. It puts people in love and gets rid of the jealousy. Rashi says, Machnis Ava Mishum Shemesamechas Alev. It gladdens your heart. B'shetei Isha Mashkemes V'oife. The day that she wants to bake bread. Oh, we have some Gishmei Bracha right now. It's raining very hard. The day that she wants to bake bread, she wakes up early to do it. The aniyim go around to people's homes to collect at the door early in the morning. So we want her to wake up early so the bread will be there so that she can give out bread to the aniyim. Sinner is like a pantyhose or underwear, mishum tzniusa, that she should have tachtoinim, not just nisrachik min avera, says Rashi. She should scrub her hair before she goes to the mikvah. So Gemara says that's not a Ezra takana d'oraisa he Tanya. V'rachatz es b'saro b'mayim. She go to the mikvah. Shelo yehi davar chotzitz b'im b'saro b'mayim. There shouldn't be any chatzitza between the water and her flesh. So we already have this takana. And es b'saro, es atofil b'saro. Umayniu seyar. Which means the hair can't have a chatzitza either. It's like the skin. The S was included to the basar. So when you go to the tefillah and you need a tefillah b'tahara, you have to scrub your hair well. Midin Torah, that there should be no chatzitza. So what was the takana of Ezra all about? Amri, daraisa li'iyuni de ilma mikter. the requirement in the Torah was just to check it, make sure that there's not hair tied in a knot, or inami most midi, or make sure there's no dirt in there. Mishum chatzitza. But also, ihu tikin chafif. Comes Ezra, and it's not enough just to check. They have to scrub their hair, b'masrek, with a comb. L'harchakadim is a gzeira. And v'shiroch l'matzrim bayeros, that peddlers should travel around into the cities. Mishum tachshite noshim, perfume, jewelry, k'dei, shlois ganu, abaleh, so that the women would remain pretty in the eyes of their husbands. The tikkun tefillah balik kriyan, and if you were Balkari, if you had a semi mission, the previous night you had to go to the mikveh in the mornings before you daven, before you learn Torah. So the says deraisa. This is not a takon of Ezra. T'chsiv the ishki sitzei mimenu shichva zera for chassid rabbamayim. If you have a semi mission, you have to have tefillah. Deraisa the truma of a kodshim. You wouldn't be able to eat or touch truma or kodshim without tefillah, and then to do it divrei Torah tefillah. Also, who v'tikin shafil divrei Torah came Ezra to say that even to learn Torah, you needed tefillah. So the Meforshim explained already in the times of the Gemara, they were mevatel this takana, and they were matir to daven and learn without tefillah. Even though we know that throughout the generations there are Yirei Shamayim and Chassidim that are makpid to go to the mikvah, like Tfilas Ezra. That's what the Rambam says. So Rishonim ask, how did these later Chachamim in the time of the Gemara abolish a takana that was done earlier by Ezra? So some say they argued it wasn't really, there was a machlokas whether this takana stemmed all the way back to Ezra, or some said it was only a temporary fix by Ezra. And in the beginning, he already was matter the next generation. Some say a takana that does not spread to the majority of Klal Yisrael doesn't have to be kept forever. And with that, you could be later generations could be mevatel takana. That's Rabbeinu Tam and Tosfos. Okay. Asar dvarim nemru b'Yushalayim. 10 things were said about Yerushalayim that make Yerushalayim different than all other places. Very appropriate since today's Daf Yomi is coming direct from Yerushalayim. Eina bayis chalut bo. You can never buy permanent. It means your purchase of a property in Yerushalayim, it's not a forever kinyan. Normally, if you find a corpse that we don't know which city it was closest to, you do a whole measurement and then you bring an egla rufa. You don't do it with Yerushalayim. And einanasas iranidachas. There's no din of iranidachas per Yerushalayim. Even if the majority of Yerushalayim would be oived avodah zarah, you don't turn Yerushalayim into iranidachas. Beinametam ben goyim. There's no nigei batim in Yerushalayim. You can't. There's be'en loitziin bo zizim v'guzusteros. You cannot put balconies and other appendages directly into the Rishus HaRabim in Yerushalayim. Ve'en oisin bo ashposos. There were no garbage dumps in Yerushalayim. Ve'en oisin bo kivshonos. You didn't make furnaces made out of lime or klicheres. Ve'en oisin bo ganas upardesos. You didn't make like orchards. Chutz Meginas Verdin. You could do rose gardens. Shemimos Nevim Arishonim. Those already existed from the time of the Nevi'im Arishonim, so they didn't get rid of those. Ein Megadim B'hem Tarnagolim. He didn't raise chickens. You learned last time the Tarnagolims, the chickens bring shrotzim there. So that if they die, there could be tumah. Vein Malinim B'Sames. You never left a corpse unburied that day to the next day. So the Gemara is going to explain these details. Ein Abayit Chalut Pa. We say that you can't acquire a bias permanently that's sold. It's not a kinyan oilam. Why? Bava Kama Bias Asher Lo Chomalit Misus Lakones Odorosa. That if you buy a house in a city, normally it would be forever, but so Yerushalayim is not part. There's a machlokes whether Yerushalayim was divided among the Shvatim or not. So this Tana holds that Yerushalayim belongs to all of Israel. So there's not an achuzah to any specific shevet or family. So you can't have a permanent achuzah there. Ve'ena mevia egla rufa. D'chsiv ki matzei chalal badama asher Hashem okecha nosein l'chol rishta. So we see that the din of egla rufa is top.
But we know
Yes,
that
Walter?
We know it was in the chelik of Binyamin.
So there's a machlokes tanaim regarding this. This Tana who holds lo nischalka Yerushalayim l'shvatim argues, right? That's why it says Ksovar. This Tana held ki lo nischalka Yerushalayim. The Tana that holds that it was given to Binyamin and there was a ritz.
We know that it was given by when they came to Eretz Yisrael. We know it was given to Binyamin. So how can a Tana argue on
Yeah, but not Yerushalayim. Not Yerushalayim. It's a machlokes whether Yerushalayim was considered nischalka to Binyamin or not.
Just Yehuda?
Some say,
it's not Yehuda.
No, Yehuda is Yehuda had a ritzua.
It's just a Binyamin, and that doesn't include Yerushalayim. In other words,
Yehuda had a ritzua. Yehuda had a Binyamin chofeif bein ksefos. Yerushalayim, the base of Mikdash was in Binyamin, but there was a ritzua that came from Yehuda that went to the Mizbeach. So they shared it, Yehuda Binyamin. But that's according to Manda Omar, that Yerushalayim was given to the Shvatim. There's another Manda Omar that says Yerushalayim was an international city. It belonged to all of Klal Yisrael. It was not given as a permanent nachla to any of the Shvatim. That's this Tana. Okay? Where are we? Yeah, the Egla Rufa. Ki matzei chalal badama shem Hashem hakecha nosein l'chol rishta. V'Yerushalayim lo nischalka l'shvatim. So according to the Manda Omar, that says Yerushalayim is given to all of the Shvatim and not to a specific Shvatim, there's no din of Egla Rufa. Because it has to be nosein l'chol rishta. There also it says, the Yerushalayim lo nischalka l'shvatim. Yerushalayim was not given over to the Shvatim, so there's no din of Irani Dachas. Yeah, Kloimar. Mereshisa lo haysa Yerushalayim atzma shayechas l'shevet mesuyam. Ela hayta nachalat kol Yisrael b'meshutav. Yerushalayim was owned by everybody. Others say that it was bechalko shel shevet Binyamin or Yehuda, like we explained. That's the machlokes tanoim. Okay. Eina metabe b'negoim. There's no nige batim. Why? D'chsiv ki savol eretz Canaan. Ashani noise lachem lachusa. So again, the din of nigei batim is connected. V'nasati neget ras b'veis eretz achuzaschem. V'Yushalayim lo nischak l'shvatim, and it's not an achuz of any specific person. So therefore, a person's bias in Yerushalayim cannot be afflicted with nigei batim. Vein matzim bozizim v'gazusterois. You could not build balconies that overhang the Rosh Hashanah. That's what we're talking about. Then they oil atuma. We didn't, because remember, if you have tuma below a balcony, so there's oil tuma underneath all of it, so it would increase tuma, but and give it over to the people walking Rosh Hashanah. So we don't want that. Mishum shelo l'sasku oil regolim. Many pilgrims are coming up to Yerushalayim on the Yomi Tovim. They came in a state of tahara because they know they have to bring korbanos, and we don't want them to get tummy. We don't build garbage dumps. Mishum shkotzim, because also shkotzim v'ramoshim hang out in garbage dumps, and then when they die, the shmona shkotzim convey tumah by their corpse, so that would increase tumah. We're doing all these takanos to avoid an increase of tumah. We don't make furnaces. Mishum kutra, because of ash. The ashes will make the city ugly. The walls will become black. We don't build gardens and orchards. Mishum sircha. You need fertilizer. The fertilizer will make the city smell. So we don't do it. We don't raise chickens because we say we have kachim there. And remember, the chickens drag around in the shrotzim, and they could be metame the meat of the korbanos. Ve'ein malinin ba'asames. Gemara. It's just a Masorah in our hands, this issue that you don't leave over a dead body to bury it the next day. There's no real reason. Rashi says, Masorah subyadenu, the ain tam l'dover. We don't have a reason for it. We don't raise pigs anywhere. So there's a reason for it. Why? So Shlom Tzion HaMalka, in the year like 180 BCE, 180 years before the Common Era, so Antiochus came, and there was a revolt by the Chashmonoim, and they took over the Malchus. One of them was a queen, Shlom Tzion, and the person who took over was this Hyrcanus Hasheni, but he had a brother, Aristobulus, and he made a revolt against his brother Hyrcanus. And Hyrcanus was helped by the father of Herod Antipater, and Aristobulus had done a revolt. He was serving inside Yerushalayim as the king, but Hyrcanus, with the help of Antipater, came and surrounded Yerushalayim. This is about 65 BCE, this revolt between Aristobulus and Hyrcanus. So, Hyrcanus was inside, Aristobulus mibachutz. It's the opposite of what I said. Hyrcanus was inside. Aristobulus, when he did the original revolt to take over the kingdom, he was laying siege. Lahem, the people inside would take in a bucket, hand down money, or yumayim lahem tmidin. So the base of Mikdash is inside. So there has to be sheep offered every day. So money would be handed down in a bucket, and they would put the sheep in the bucket, so they could continue the offering the korbanos. There was a zaken who knew Greek wisdom. Some say this is Greek culture, the poems, the literature, Greek myths, the songs of Homer. The normal speech, the language spoken by most of the people then was Greek. But only few people knew the classic Greek culture. And the Reforshim explained that's why he could give this advice secretly because nobody else understood what he was doing. So Omer he told the people who were doing the siege on the outside, listen, as long as you keep on giving sheep to the inside, you're not gonna win the battle because they're offering the sheep as a korban. There's a korban tummy. They're going to continue winning you. So the next day, when the people on the inside put the bucket down filled with money, helam chazir. So the people on the outside put a pig. When the pig reached halfway up, the pig stuck its hooves into the wall. Eretz Yisrael led to an earthquake, and the country moved 400 by 400 parcels. Cursed is the person who will raise pigs. Cursed is the person who teaches his son Greek wisdom. That the oimer that was needed for the korban oimer came from so far. It came from a place called Ganos Tzrifim, because there was a big siege around Yerushalayim. Because the rest of the areas around Yerushalayim was part of the siege. And there's still a curse. The Shulchan Aruch and the Rambam brings this curse of raising pigs in Eretz Yisrael.
Maybe we should send a couple of those pigs to Gaza and there'll be an earthquake. That'll be a good thing.
Yeah, but the Muslims don't eat pigs either. So
Anyway, Ernie, Mazel Tov.
Thank you. The Bas Mitzvah was last night. It was very nice.
Oh, very nice.
Is in Kahal Hasidim, right next to the Gruz, is Shul Kahal Hasidim. They have a very nice.
Oh yeah, I've been, yeah.
Remember, Jürgen Bick, he davens there.
Yeah, hold on.
And so they have a nice.
She spoke by.
So they have a nice ulam on the top of Kahal Hasidim. That's where the Bas Mitzvah was.
Okay, beautiful. Mazel Tov. So where are you now?
No, tonight there's going to be a Shabbos. All the family's in. All my kids are here, and the Marcuses. So there's going to be like a Shabbos. We have a Friday night meal, Shabbos lunch. There'll be a Kiddush tomorrow.
You should have a lot of nachas anyway. Ernie,
Amen.
So no learning tomorrow, right?
No.
Nothing tomorrow.
Can you do it?
Friday you can't do it. So Motzei Shabbos, what do we do?
Friday.
9 o'clock again?
What time is now?
Now it's 9:41.
9:40 at night.
That's 12:41 for me.
So that's Thursday. Okay. So Friday morning would be what? Can't we learn at 4 o'clock? I can teach 4 o'clock.
Friday morning Shabbos by you.
What about at 7 o'clock? Is 5 o'clock already Shabbos here? Okay.
It's fine.
We'll have to learn. We'll have to learn.
It's 7 o'clock.
We'll have to learn Motzei Shabbos. No. 5 p.m. Friday here would be 7 a.m. Friday morning.
Yeah, but 5 p.m. is not Shabbos in Yerushalayim.
No, 5 is Shabbos here already. 5 is Shabbos here already. I understand.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll have to learn Motzei Shabbos.
So what you're gonna do, Novi? You doing Novi Motzei Shabbos?
No, it also doesn't work time-wise.
So what time? 9 o'clock Motzei Shabbos?
9
o'clock Motzei Shabbos. Like we've been learning, been learning now. 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay, Ernie. First of all,
good Shabbos.
The Shabbos, I just have to tell you, this Gemara teaches you that you saw that in Yerushalayim, you have all the different, you have different kind of, it's an international city. That's what you said. Because
no, it has a special yichud. Even in Eretz Yisrael, Yerushalayim has special dinim over all Eretz Yisrael.
Right, and you saw that in Yerushalayim, you have everybody else, also other people over there with their knisiot over there. And in Tel Aviv, you never had anything like that. So it just shows you that Yerushalayim is stuck at an international city. It's not an international city.
Tel Aviv was built in 1908.
I understand, but Tel Aviv never had. The Rebbes went to Tel Aviv. A lot of Rebbes went to Tel Aviv because Tel Aviv.
The people were there. Yeah.
No, nobody. There was no churches in Tel Aviv. No, there are no churches.
That's why Reb Aaron Rokeach, the Belzer Rebbe, moved to Tel Aviv. He did something else. That there were no, it was a true Jewish city. The current Belzer Rebbe made a revolution in 1966. He moved to Yerushalayim. He led the move to Yerushalayim by the Rebbe.
In the beginning, they all went to
Tel Aviv.
There were no knisiot.
Probably Willie Sutton, right? Why did Willie Sutton rob banks?
That's what money is.
Just maybe. That's why they ended up in Tel Aviv. There were people there. Yerushalayim, had a poor community.
Only a Belzer could understand that, you know. Only a Belzer
right.
could understand that. Okay, Shabbos Mazel.
What do you mean? Sadi Gur, Walter, Sadi Gur came from Rishon. There was no wealthier Chassidus than Rishon.
Yeah, but they came to Tel Aviv. They never came to Yerushalayim originally, and then they'll end up in Bnei Brak, the poorest place. But that's okay. But they have somebody in Yerushalayim.
Okay.
Okay. Have a good Shabbos.
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 Mazel tov.
Good Shabbos.